Picture this, the ancient Indian city of Rajgir. The Buddha is there, along with his most revered disciples. It's a gathering of the wisest minds of the era. But the most mind-blowing lesson of the day is about to come from someone nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming.
Right. Let's just dive straight into this incredible story of wisdom and raw courage from the Maharatnakuta Sutra. A young girl named Wu Wade, which means fearless virtue, is about to step onto the stage and deliver an absolute masterclass in philosophy that leaves everyone stunned. So, our story kicks off when 10 of the Buddha's greatest disciples, we're talking legends like the wise Shariputra, show up at the palace of King Ajatasattu for their morning alms.
Okay, now this is a huge deal, a major breach of etiquette, and her father, the king, is absolutely mortified. He goes right up to her and demands to know why on earth she's disrespecting these holy men, the fields of merit for the entire world, as he calls them.
But Wu Wide doesn't apologize, not even a little. Instead, she just fires back with this incredibly sharp, disarming question. See, she's not just being a rebellious kid here. She is masterfully setting the stage for a deep, philosophical argument about spiritual hierarchy. And what comes next is just wow, a brilliant series of metaphors. Wu Wade unleashes them to explain her actions, and in doing so, she ends up schooling her own father and these legendary monks on the fundamental differences between two major Buddhist paths.
So here's how she breaks it down. She compares a bodhisattva, that's someone on a great vehicle path who wants enlightenment for all living beings, to a vast ocean, or the sun itself. And then she compares a Shravaka, someone on the small vehicle path who is focused only on their own personal liberation, to a tiny puddle of water in a cow's hoofprint, or a single firefly. The difference in scale is just staggering.
And that's the crucial point, isn't it? Her seeming disrespect isn't arrogance, it's a profound statement. She's arguing that the motivation of a bodhisattva is so immense, so all-encompassing, that it operates on a completely different level than the goal of just saving oneself. A lion doesn't bow to a jackal.
Well, you can bet this stunning display of logic didn't go unnoticed. The disciples themselves are, both intrigued and challenged, so they decide to test her wisdom directly. And this leads to one of the most extraordinary debates you can imagine.
So first up is Shariputra, famous for his razor-sharp intellect. He tries to pin her down, to categorize her. He's basically asking, all right, smart kid, what's your philosophical position? Which team are you on? Small vehicle or great vehicle?
And her answer is just perfect. She completely sidesteps his trap. She explains that true, powerful wisdom, the kind that lets out a lion's roar, can't be contained in a box. It doesn't cling to any fixed identity or philosophy. It comes from abiding in nothing, a really deep understanding of emptiness.
All right, next up is Madhu Galyana, the master of psychic and supernatural powers. He basically challenges her right to even judge their spiritual level. You can almost hear him thinking, who are you, a 12-year-old girl, to critique us, the Buddha's top disciples?
But she just flips the script on him, completely. She starts asking him a series of questions about the nature of reality, probing the absolute limits of his famous powers. And for every single question, he has to admit, I cannot know. She's showing that even the incredible knowledge of the greatest arhat is still limited compared to the total omniscience of a Buddha, which is the very goal a bodhisattva is aiming for.
So the debate has reached a fever pitch. Wu Wade has outplayed them with pure logic, but now she's ready to drop the mic. She decides to offer something more than words, actual, tangible proof of a reality that exists far beyond their own perception.
So she asks him about this distant Buddha world, a place called the Fragrant Elephant World. And Madhgalayana, the master of supernatural travel, admits he's never even heard of it. This is the setup for a truly mind-bending demonstration.
While still sitting there, she makes this incredibly powerful vow. She's putting everything on the line. Her whole argument is now staked on this one single miracle, to prove the immense power behind a bodhisattva's first intention.
And then it happens. A brilliant light appears. That distant world, with its own Buddha and bodhisattvas, becomes visible to every single person in the room. A divine fragrance fills the air, and then the voice of that Buddha speaks, confirming everything she said. It proves her point in a way words never, ever could.
So she's won the debate with logic and a miracle. Now the final confirmation comes from the highest possible authority in the room, Buddha Shakyamuni himself.
And he pulls back the curtain on who she really is. He reveals she's no ordinary child. She's an ancient bodhisattva who has been on this path for over 9 billion kalpas. That's a length of time our minds can't even begin to grasp. Her form as a young girl is a deliberate, skillful choice designed to teach this very lesson.
And for her grand finale, to drive home the ultimate lesson about the nature of reality, she demonstrates the truth of emptiness. She makes a vow that if all forms are illusory, she can change hers. And just like that, she transforms from female to male, and then back again, proving that our labels, like gender, are just conventions, not ultimate reality.
And then she receives the highest honor there is in the Buddhist tradition. The Buddha himself gives her a direct prophecy, looking deep into the future and predicting the exact time and place where she will achieve her own full and perfect enlightenment. Her path to Buddhahood is now guaranteed. Her fearless display of wisdom had a massive ripple effect. This wasn't just about winning an argument, it was about inspiration. More than 40,000 beings, right there in the palace and in the heavens, were so moved that they decided to embark on the very same bodhisattva path she had so brilliantly defended. So the story of Wu Weide really forces us to check all of our assumptions at the door. It challenges us to look past the surface, past age, past status, past gender, and to recognize that the deepest wisdom can show up in the most unexpected people. The big takeaway here is that the courage to question everything, combined with a heart that is truly dedicated to the well-being of others, well, that's the real mark of a great soul.